Let's break another illusion in bodybuilding. Peak week. The magical week that is gonna fix everything we didn't do in prep. It's gonna fix our condition, it's gonna fix our posing, it's gonna fix actually even our skin. Because if you don't moisturize and exfoliate, and I'm talking about you guys as well, your skin is not gonna look good on stage. So, from everything from your tan up to your posing, through your physique, through your lack of muscle, and the fact that you and your coach didn't actually go through a peaking process before the actual peak week came around, and you think that this is going to be fixed in the last 5 days before the show. And I'm here to tell you it's not going to be fixed. It's going to be worse than you expected. And even if you start earlier, because I've done preps in which I've tried to do 5 days on zero carbs with a lot of water up to I've I've had days that I was on 13, 14 liters of water because the previous coach I used to work with was working with the old school scheme, and it's one scheme for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder that's 100 kilos or a woman that's a 60-kilo body. So yeah, I've had peak weeks in which I've started on 5 days on zero carbs with a lot of salt. When I'm telling you a lot of sodium, it's like up to 25, 30 grams of sodium a day with 13, 14 liters of water. And then we were having 3 days on higher carbs, in which water is manipulated up to having like half a liter the day before the show. So you can imagine how your body is suffering when you had it drink 13, 14 liters, and then 2 days later it's actually on half a liter of water. And when I asked what's the point of this, it was explained to me this is how the natural diuretic system of the body is working, and that it's okay. It's something normal. That's the scheme. It works for everybody. Yeah. And also, when we were carving up and lowering food, lowering water, we didn't have any sodium. So you go on stage 3 days before you go on stage, you have zero sodium. So every muscle in your body is cramping up, especially when we talk about calves, when we talk about adductors, and I'm telling you, it hurts like hell. I was waking up in the middle of the night just because my adductor has cramped up so much I cannot move. And yes, and of course, when it comes to training as well. So you start like the last leg day you do, doesn't matter if you're wellness, doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder and you're doing open bodybuilding, the last leg day you're doing is around 10 days before the show. Now, here, there are a lot of opinions about it, but what I've seen from pro wellness girls is that they literally have a leg day before the show. It might be 2 days before the show, but especially if you have a lacking body part, as my glutes were in 2023 and 2024, I really don't see the point of not pumping it when you have the carbs. So these carbs can go into the muscle and actually fill it up, especially if it's a lacking body part. Because I had huge quads. So, okay, if you're telling me that 10 days before the show, I'm not going to pump my quads, I can understand. But what is the point of not pumping my glutes? And I'm having 300, 400 grams of carbs. And I'm not inserting them into the muscle that I want them to be there. And of course, the result was worse. Every show, it was worse. Even though in Romania 2023 when we did the peak week. After coming off stage, we did a bit of sodium, and my past coach saw that I was looking better with sodium, and I also didn't have any cramps, so I could pose better, that. When we went to Arnold Amateur 2024 in March, we again didn't use sodium just because we have one universal scheme. So if you hear that from your coach and you expect that peak week is gonna be something magical and you're gonna put down 2-3 kilos of water, listen, if you're in condition, doesn't matter if you're on PDs, whatever you're doing, if you're natural, if you're in the proper condition for stage, you wouldn't be holding water. What you see is most probably fat. And trust me, whatever you manipulate during peak week, if you still have fat on your body and you're not in the condition needed for stage, there's nothing you can do. Yes, you might look a bit better if you carb up and you have some rest days and inflammation goes down, but you still are not gonna be magically lean and pumped as fuck. It's not gonna happen. And also, when you make so much changes, so we change water, we change sodium, we change carbs, we change activity, we change training, we do all that, we also have diuretics, we stop PEDs, we have a lot of creatine, and all of this stuff, the more you change, the less you're gonna know the outcome. The more variables, the harder it becomes for your coach to pick you. If he's actually doing something individual, of course. Because if we're working on a universal scheme that works for everybody, we're going to have to guess what's going to happen on stage. We never know. Because after Arnold Amateur, I had a regional show here in Bulgaria where I was 1.5 kg more on stage compared to when I started the peaking process, when I started peak week. I couldn't go to the toilet. I couldn't even push out the water that was inside of my body. I couldn't digest food. My waist was like this. Like my body was so stressed out. It didn't want to do anything. It didn't want to look better. It didn't want to push to digest food, to act normally. So trust me, you need to be ready. It's the same in life. You don't go into a project or a work situation or, I don't know, exam in university without being ready and hoping for the best. You need to be ready prior. And then the only things that you need to work on is the amount of water, the amount of carbs, the amount of sodium. And then the last 2 days, rest day, a pump backstage, some more carbs, some more sodium, electrolytes. That's it. If you are really ready and you've done your work, you have your muscle mass should be there as well. Like you cannot expect to have peak week. You enter peak week, you don't have enough muscle, and you go on stage and you look like Arnold. So, yeah, these are all lessons that I've learned the hard way, as I keep saying in every episode. So, if you have a similar situation, trust me, you need a new coach. It's not going to work. Even if you keep going and you try one more competition, next prep is going to be better. It's not going to be. It never is going to be better. That's the best it's going to be. So think and act smarter. Take decisions.